Volume 20. In this volume, Mozgus takes the form of an angel along with his torturers, obviously because he has been possessed by evil. He basically has been given power from that spider-looking thing. And now I realize that the eyes that we kept seeing in the last couple of volumes was from that spider. It wasn't from Griffith or any of the other God Hand. It was from this spider-looking thing. And then we finally get to see its form, and it's the form of a Baelet. And I kind of thought that was kind of weird, but at the same token, it's not, because we find out more about this spider, this apostle. We find out why he was turned into an apostle, what his wish was. I don't know what he sacrificed. I believe what he sacrificed, though, was the world he lives in, and his wish was to bring forth a new world. And that's why he took the form of a Baelet, and it's the egg of the new world. However, at the end of the volume, he finds Casca and Guts' baby that was possessed by evil, that was made of flesh but wasn't human, and he realizes that this babe is the same thing as him. So he puts Casca and Guts' baby inside of him, almost like a womb, and says, "We can die together, and you can be in your cradle when you see the new world." I don't know what this implies. I don't know if something's going to go down, like this mock eclipse is going to go down, and maybe this baby is going to turn into something else, because if you think about it, he's very much like Griffith. Griffith was inside a huge egg when he was being transformed into Femto. Maybe this baby, if this fake imitation eclipse goes down, maybe this baby will be fueled by, the malice, the hatred, the anger, the sorrow, while the apostles are feeding, much like Griffith was, empowered by it, and maybe it will come out in a new form. That's just my thoughts on that, because it seems very reminiscent of the actual eclipse from Volume 12 and 13. And even the Skull Knight said, it's as if this is running parallel to that time. Because he says, if Luca even asked for my help, I couldn't comply. And we see why, because Zod shows up. And Zod's going to hold off the Skull Knight just like he did during the eclipse. So it's almost like it's almost the same as the other eclipse, only this is a fake eclipse. Because then we see like those blobs of evil spirits forming into the four God Hand, excluding Griffith. And Guts is even like, this isn't real. I don't feel that pain in my neck in the brand of sacrifice. This is just a shadow. What the Skull Knight was talking about. These are just shadows cast down from a high dying sun above, way above their plane. And it seems like there's different planes of existence, basically, and theirs is up above, and it can cast a shadow down onto the physical human world. And even though these aren't the real God Hand, their shadows are being cast down upon this world and taking that form. And it almost seems like they're trying to show themselves, because they show themselves when the eclipse occurs. When the night festival occurs. If this is a mock eclipse, obviously their forms are going to be there in some manner. And there they are. But I feel like who's bringing this about is the spider. The Baelet looking dude, the egg of the new world. And he only knows of the four God Hand. He didn't know about Griffith. When he got turned, they came to him. Griffith was not included because Griffith was not a God Hand yet. So it feels like he's the one orchestrating all this, and obviously he's only going to have their four forms show up because they're the only God Hand that he knows. He doesn't know of Griffith. So I just have this feeling that he's orchestrating all this, and he's trying to make this imitation eclipse occur because he wants a new world. And I'm going to assume that the four God Hand obviously want this to happen as well. So it's very interesting stuff. I could be completely off base with that, but that's what I feel is going on here. Then we have Guts versing the four angel-winged torturers, and having a run for his money because they're pseudo apostles now, and he gets pretty beat up, but he eventually wins. Isidro and Jerome and Nina are watching this, and they're like, "What the hell? Like, this dude, is he human? Like, he's actually fighting against these against these dudes with wings and shit." And obviously, Farnese is watching it too, and we get to see a little bit into her, her mind, saying, whenever the Black Swordsman shows up, whatever my world is, it always goes to ruins. What I perceive is not what it seems, basically. He's dreadful. Then obviously the tower starts to collapse, and that dude, he is that dude, Serpico. That dude shows up out of nowhere and rescues Farnese. I'm like, is this dude always lurking in the shadows? He's just waiting for the perfect opportunity to make his move. He did it in the last volume when he fought Guts. He's done it before, and now all of a sudden, he's just miraculously there to save Farnese from falling. I was like, this dude is everywhere. Like, he's just lurking in the shadows and shit. Serpico is that dude. So he rescues her, basically. Obviously, Father Mozgus thinks this power is from the heavens. This is from, this is holy power. He can actually breathe fire and shit, and he's erecting a pillar so he can burn Casca at the stake, feeling that if he kills Casca, this evilness and these monstrosities will leave, which we all know that's not true because Casca's not the cause of all of it. Guts has to burn a sacrifice as well, and the spiders there doing all of this. But I have a feeling Casca plays a huge role in this imitation eclipse as well, because if they sacrifice her, she would be a sacrifice for whatever the hell's going on. And she is a previous wielder of the brand of sacrifice. She is from the previous eclipse. So maybe her sacrifice holds more power than a newly branded sacrifice. I might be wrong with that as well. But I just have a feeling she's playing a huge role in this. That Spider, like I said, he is pretty much the one that's orchestrating all this. It feels like he's the one that's trying to make this imitation eclipse happen so he can form a new world. But I enjoyed the volume. I'd have to give it an 8 out of 10. I did enjoy it. A lot of action. It was very easy to read. It was very quick to read. And I stopped a few times to kind of read into it more and figure out exactly what's going on. I had to stop a little bit when the spider apostle looking thing was talking about his backstory and whatnot and what he wants and what's going on. And then I started putting two and two together about the four God hand, their shadows appearing. And I remembered that they're the only ones that he's seen. He never seen Griffith, like I said. So obviously he's sort of orchestrating this. He's been giving these heretics and Mozgus and all these other people these pseudo abilities, making them pseudo apostles, making them be possessed by evil, etc., etc. He's been doing that, so he's been the orchestrator of all of this. He's been like the dude that's setting it all up. And then Luca, I really have to commend Luca. Telling the Skull Knight, even though I just seen that, I gotta go back. And the Skull Knight was completely surprised. He's like, she's foolhardy, but didn't even think about asking for my help. So Luca is definitely brave, and not even a second thought about going back and trying to get Nina and get, Casca, etc., etc. Nina kind of irritated me again. I understand where she's coming from. I understand her position, but she was holding Luca in her hands and was even thinking about dropping Luca before Luca did it herself. And I was like, really, Nina? Like, this girl protected you. She took you in, and you're even gonna like let that thought cross your mind. Nina's definitely a weak character. She has a weak will, but I can understand why. Look at the person. Look at the situation she is. Look at the world she's living in, and she has a disease herself. So I can understand why she's so weak. But I just wish she would have had maybe a shining moment at that point and said, not even had that cross her mind, because Luca's the one that took her in. I mean, that's just ridiculous. Even have that cross your mind. But really looking forward to seeing what's going to happen in Volume 21. I have Volume 21, 22, and 24 coming. I already own 23, so I have 4 more volumes to review, which gives me a month, and then maybe I'll pick up some more before then. I'm trying to save my money for Christmas, but I'm going to try to keep these coming every single week. Just hopefully I'll have the money to continue buying the volumes. I don't want to read it online because I don't really like the scans online, and it just feels much better reading Berserk in hand. So let me know your thoughts on the volume, guys. Let me know your thoughts on my video. Like the video if you feel I deserve it. Subscribe if you want to see more content. I do all kinds of things. I'm even thinking about doing another channel trailer to say and show exactly what I do on this channel. But look forward to Hunter x Hunter Chapter 341. I'm going to be doing that right now. Thanks for watching. I appreciate the support, and I'll catch you in the next Berserk Volume review.